Welcome to Trust Beginnings, Shaping Identity in Infancy, where we explore the profound impact of early trust development on shaping one's identity. As hosts, we, Joy Salinas, Princess Rafe, Yulea Musi, and Jerome Unay, invite you to join us on a journey delving into the intricate interplay between cultural and socio-economic factors in shaping the foundations of trust in infancy. Why does early trust matter? It's a cornerstone upon which our identities are built. From the moment we come into this world, our interactions with caregivers and the environment begin to mold our understanding of trust. These experiences are not universal. They are deeply influenced by cultural nuances and socioeconomic realities. In each episode, we unravel the significance of these early trust building experiences, examining how they vary across cultures and socioeconomic backgrounds. We'll navigate the complexities of identity development, shedding light on how early trust experiences reverberate through our lives, influencing our relationships, decisions, and sense of self. Through our discussions, we aim to not only deepen your understanding of the pivotal role of trust in infancy, but also provide practical insights and recommendations for fostering trust and supporting healthy identity development within diverse cultural contexts. So join us as we embark on this journey of exploration, discovery, and empowerment. Because when it comes to shaping identity, every beginning is rooted in trust. Welcome to Trust Beginning, Shaping Identity in Infancy.
Now that we've discussed our topic, let's talk about its importance. First is emotional development. When children develop trust early on, they become more secure and emotionally stable as they grow. When a child's needs are met and they receive TLC, or tender love and care, they feel safe, protected, and unafraid. They are more likely to express themselves freely, form positive relationships with others, and develop empathy and compassion. Secondly, their self-perception improves. Children who experience a secure and healthy environment are more likely to have positive feelings about themselves, higher self-esteem, and a stronger sense of self-worth. When children receive the love and attention they need, they learn that they are valued and deserving of good things, which contributes to a healthy mindset and sense of identity as they grow. Trust formation in infancy is closely linked to the development of secure attachment bonds. Secure attachments provide infants with a haven from which to explore the world and a secure base to return to when they encounter difficulties. These attachment bonds serve as the blueprint for future relationships, influencing how individuals relate to others throughout their lives. It suggests that infants who form secure attachments in infancy are more likely to develop positive relationships, experience greater social competence, and have better mental health outcomes in later years. Trust formation in infancy sets the stage for healthy social development and interpersonal relationships. When infants experience consistent and responsive caregiving, they learn fundamental social skills such as empathy, cooperation, and communication. These early social interactions provide the building blocks for developing meaningful relationships with peers and adults later in life. It indicates that infants who form secure attachments are more likely to exhibit pro-social behaviors and have satisfying relationships in childhood and beyond. Now, let's explore how cultural and societal factors influence early trust development. When it comes to cultural and societal factors, we all come from different backgrounds. For example, in terms of parenting styles, some parents are strict with rules and consequences, which make children feel scared or unable to express their feelings, afraid that they will get their parents mad. Others are more relaxed yet still set boundaries while being warm and loving, which helps children feel secure and confident. Social and economic factors, such as financial problems, can also influence early trust development. If a family is facing struggles, they may struggle to provide for a child's need. This stress can affect how parents care for the kids and how much trust kids feel towards their parents. The past and tough times, things that happened in the past, like discrimination, can affect how parents raise their kids and how much kids trust others. Gender roles and expectations. Cultural expectations regarding gender roles and behavior can influence trust development. For example, in cultures where traditional gender roles are enforced, boys and girls may be socialized differently in terms of expressing emotions and seeking support. These gendered expressions can shape.
There are multiple cultures in the world, and trust building intimacy is a fundamental aspect of a child development. And cultural perspective plays a different role in shaping approaches to this process. So here are some example of the cultural perspective on trust building intimacy. So the first example is the Middle Eastern culture. In Middle East, trust building intimacy often revolves around the concept of respect for the authority and familial hierarchy. Practices such as swaddling, gentle rocking, and using a rhythmic vocalization to soothe infants are common. Additionally, incorporating religious and cultural traditions into caregiving activities can also strengthen the child's feeling of cultural identification and belonging. And the next example is Latin American cultures. Trust building intimacy in Latin American often emphasizes warmth, affection, and close familial bonds. Physical touch and affection are highly valued, with parents and extended family members actively engaging in caregiving responsibilities. They practice such as co-sleeping, breastfeeding on demand, and carrying their infants in sling or wraps are prevalent. And then the last example is the African culture. In many African cultures, trust building intimacy is deeply rooted in familial bonds and cultural traditions. Like they practice such as infant massages, carrying the babies on their back, and involving the infants in daily activities to help establish trust and the sense of belonging within the family and their community. So, overall, while there are variations in cultural practices and beliefs surrounding trust building intimacy, the underlying goal remains universal. This is to create a secure attachment between caregivers and infants, providing a foundation for healthy emotional and social development. So, there are ways on how cultural values and practices shape trust dynamics. So the first one is parenting styles and caregiving practices, attachment and responsiveness. Cultural norms dictate how caregivers respond to infants' needs. In cultures where attachment and responsiveness are valued, caregivers may promptly attend to infants' cues, fostering a sense of security and trust. The next one is the physical contact. In cultural attitudes towards physical contact vary widely. In cultures where physical touch is valued, such as many Latin American and African cultures, caregiver may engage in frequent cuddling, carrying, and co-sleeping. This type of engagement doesn't only exist in Latin American culture and African culture. I mean, it also exists in different kind of culture, and these engagements gives the infants the assurance that they are safe with the caregivers.
Well, think about it this way. In infancy, our primary caregivers are our entire world. They provide our basic needs and are the sources of comfort and safety. If these experiences are consistent and reliable, we develop a sense of trust in the world and ourselves. This trust becomes the foundation for a secure identity, one that believes I am worthy and I can rely on myself and others. Oh, that makes perfect sense. What about mistrust? Unfortunately, if a child's needs are consistently unmet, leading to feelings of insecurity and fear, mistrust can develop. This can create a shaky foundation for identity, potentially leading to feelings of inadequacy or difficulty forming trust and trusting relationships later on. Host. Well, absolutely. Cultures vary in child rearing practices. Some emphasizes independence early on, while others prioritize close, extended family bonds. Both approaches can foster trust, but in different ways. For example, a child raised in a culture that values independence might develop a strong sense of self-reliance, while a child in a collectivistic culture might derive trust from strong sense of bonding and belonging to the family. Those. Here are some practical tips. Be responsive to your child's needs, providing comfort and affection. Maintain consistency in routines and expectations. Encourage exploration and in a safe environment, and celebrate your child's achievements. It may foster a sense of self-worth. And those. And thank you.
So, here's my own story. The dynamics at home were a tapestry of diverse influences. I was surrounded by a revolving door of caregivers hailing from different corners of the Philippines. Some were from our native province of Pangasinan, others from the bustling metropolises of Manila, and still more from Antipolo and Ilocos. Being the youngest in the family, I was the center of attention, drawing relatives from both my mother and father's sides to our doorstep, each eager to lend a hand in caring for me. It seemed like every month a rotation of 2 or 3 relatives would take turns nurturing me, enriching my upbringing with a mosaic of cultural experiences. So, growing up in such a kaleidoscopic environment, I became fluent in the languages of Pangasinense and Ilocano, effortlessly adapting to the linguistic nuances of my caregivers. But my exposure didn't end with language. I absorbed the traditions and practices unique to each region, as my caregivers not only attended to my needs, but also imparted the essence of their cultures. The multicultural tapestry of my upbringing wasn't just a matter of linguistic and cultural immersion. It was a lesson in trust. Each caregiver brought their own approach to nurturing, instilling in me varied perspectives on trust and reliance. From the communal warmth of my Pangasinan relatives to the self-reliant ethos of those from Manila, I learned that trust could manifest in different forms depending on one's cultural background. Navigating these diverse caregiving styles taught me adaptability and resilience from a young age. I learned to read social cues and adjust my behavior accordingly, developing a keen sensitivity to the cultural nuances that shape my interactions. It wasn't just about mastering the languages or customs. It was about understanding the intricacies of trust building in different contexts. As I matured, the lessons from my multicultural upbringing continued to shape my identity. My development wasn't confined to a single cultural mold, but rather reflected the fluid amalgamation of diverse influences. I embraced the richness of my heritage, seamlessly blending the values and traditions instilled by my caregivers into the tapestry of my identity. Today, Today, as I reflect on my journey, I realize that the multicultural upbringing that shaped me wasn't just a coincidence. It was a gift. It taught me the beauty of diversity, the importance of empathy, and the power of trust to transcend cultural boundaries. My identity isn't defined by a single culture or upbringing, but rather by the mosaic of experiences that have shaped me into the person I am today.
Tips or strategies for caregivers and professionals to support trust and identity development in culturally diverse contexts. Learn about each child's culture. Take the time to learn about each child's cultural background, traditions, and beliefs. Establish trusting relationships with children by showing empathy, respect for their culture, and understanding their background to avoid miscommunication and offending anyone. Building trust is crucial for children to feel safe and secure. Be kind and listen. Always. It's important for children to feel heard, valued, and understood. Be attentive and show kindness to create a welcoming and safe environment where they feel accepted. Be open minded. Remember to always be open-minded. Approach each child and family with an open mind and a willingness to learn from their cultural perspectives and experiences. Encourage self-expression. Create opportunities for children to express their cultural identities through storytelling, music, dance, and other creative activities. Increase your understanding and awareness of cultural differences and how they impact trust and identity development. Through these strategies, caregivers and professionals can create supportive environments that honor and celebrate cultural diversity while fostering trust and identity in development in all children. So join us as we embark on this journey of exploration, discovery, and empowerment. Because when it comes to shaping identity, every beginning is rooted in trust. Welcome to Trust, Beginnings, Shaping Identity in Infancy.
So here's a recap of the key points discussed in Trust, Beginnings, Shaping Identity in Infancy. So the first key point is the foundation of trust. Infancy is a critical period for the development of trust, which serves as the foundation for healthy identity formation. The trust-building experiences during infancy profoundly shape the way individuals perceive themselves, others, and the world around them. Second is the cultural influences. Cultural values and practices exert a significant influence on trust dynamics within a caregiver-infant relationship. Caregiving practices, communication patterns, the social structures, the rituals, and the traditions vary across cultures and shape the infant's early experiences of trust. And then the third one is the identity formation. Here, the trust building experiences in infancy contribute to the formation of cultural, social, and personal identity. Infants develop a sense of belonging, cultural identity, and self-concept through interactions with caregivers, exposure to cultural practices, and participation in cultural rituals.
Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through Trust Beginnings, Shaping Identity in Infancy. May our collective efforts continue to nurture trust, celebrate the diversity that enriches our communities.